Now the Superband hamstring release, one of my favorite stretches here. I just have my clients loop that Superband around, a nice thick one, all right? And go ahead and lay on down supine on your back. This way they get a good basis for tall, all right? Now most of my clients have tight hammies, so I just have them bend this knee, create that control, that support, and let's just get right into it. It's an exercise. So I have them raise their leg up with their own strength. Try not to use the band so much, all right? If they need some assistance, maybe, but this hamstring is tight because it lacks a lot of that control. So holding it up on your own strength, then apply the light stretch to the posterior chain, 2 to 3 breaths, and then bring it down with control. This is the eccentric pattern, so control, this is core work. Now if they need help, they can use the band, but then again, here we go. Up with their own strength, the leg goes up, and then there goes the stretch. Now when you do this exercise, another thing you can do is you can choose different angles of the hamstring. You don't need to stay in this one lane. You can go out to the side here, and this is also a different angle on the actual hamstring. All right, notice I just came out 35 or 45 degrees. You can even fall directly out to the side where the hamstring and groin kind of meet. So again, this is a hamstring stretch, posterior chain stretch using the Superband. Aim for a good 60 to 90 seconds, you know, find some success. Great job, B. Now the Superband is great for stretching the anterior chain as well, the quad, the hip flexor, anterior tib. I just have my clients wrap that Superband around the foot for the control, and then they just loop it right over their body. Check it out. He's got it anchored. We got a great stretch. We've got this ground that we're using to really teach the body what tall is. And from here, just getting into that deep stretch. You can relax on your own strength a little bit and then pull it right back in. Choosing different angles where your knee is will hit different parts of your quad. You can even go through almost like a side lying feel. If you roll a little bit to the side, yep, and then pull right there. This all adds different angles around the hip, around the knee. The ground leg can make a difference in putting it in position and coming right out of it. Being creative with this and really livening up where that stretch feels is a huge way to teach people how to move in that plane, all right, guys? Quads, around the knees, feeling it around the hips, it all angles on this. And if you really want to help them out too, you can also help them out. If you need to, a little knee lift will get extra hip flexor. 60 to 90 seconds, be sure to stretch the front side. One of the best things about these Superbands is the fact that you can just easily anchor them onto a fixed object. All right, just a nice little loop and swoop, and there you go. Your Superband is attached, all right? You want to give that a good pull, make sure it's solid. But now we have an anchor point in the band. We can use it for strengthening, we can use it for stretching, we can use it for mobilizing, all that good stuff that you'd want in a training room, all right? So, yeah, let's get to it. Now the Superband's great for upper body stretches. One of my favorites is this lat stretch. Keeping your hips and shoulders and feet square to the wall. Find that anchor point. All you're doing is just pulling back and feeling the stretch here first. Now Brett's already going through a motion here to help with this and create a compound effect, which is putting some motion and lotion into the movement. So now this core has an engagement along with this stretch. You can even add some rows in here, activate that muscle, you'll feel the lat turn on, and then once you have it on, then you can release it and let it stretch even more. It's like a PNF, right? Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation is a great way to open muscles up. 60 to 90 seconds or reps, however you want to do it, but have some fun. Great job. Superband stretches, here's one for the pec and the upper body, all right? That anterior side. I love it because you don't have that, remember, it's rubber, so it's got that tension. You can walk out into it, you can feel that tension feedback. You can move those little slight movements without having to be too rigid through here. Most important, you want to breathe while you stretch. So hold that position, Your clients will show you if they're holding their breath and they're in pain. If that's happening, they're not really making changes. So you want to make sure you can see breath, you can see control, a sense of athleticism. 60 to 90 seconds or reps, you'll really open up this shoulder girdle from the front side. Guys, one of the best stretches, anchor a Superband high, the Superband posterior cuff tricep stretch, all right? Use that tension, you're walking away, you don't have to go too far, but just the stretch alone, already you can see as Brett turns his body, it's an active movement. But because he's on down below, it gives a chance to really give a strong release here. Remember, proximal stability will give distal mobility. So this is a great way to create that stability versus just standing here like this in a stretch. You see? So play around with the angles. You can choose and move your hips different ways, but you'll feel this stretch around the posterior cuff and the tricep. If you add some rows in there, and then the release with that long stretch, you have a little PNF kind of feel, where you can open up even more. Yep. Take advantage of this 60, 90 seconds or for reps, liven up both sides, get that great stretch. All right, the Superband standing press is a great way to just teach the body how to horizontally press. Notice I got B up against the wall. He's gonna create some tension, and then he's gonna push through the wall into that band, all right? It's a great way to teach tempo, timing, and core activation for any horizontal push, especially one of the most important horizontal pushes, the actual push up on the ground. All right, so notice the control, notice the line of force action. We're not trying to do any shoulder shrugging or anything like that, no accessory movements. 60 to 90 seconds or reps, up to you. And then let's go to the ground. Time or reps, I'm sorry, you don't have to say time or reps. And now once your client has the feeling of that, well, then they can take it to their plank position and do it on the ground. This is a resisted push-up. Notice I'm keeping tension in the band, pushing through the floor and through the band. Great job, B. What a great resistive exercise. The Superband is a great way to add some resistance for a squat pattern, okay? Just loop it around the foot, a little wider than shoulder width apart. Get that band behind the neck, and sometimes you can help and get it over that bone. There we go. I would put hands into the band just to feel like you got some control. And then, yeah, the position is an athletic feel, right? You want to have some control at the bottom. Hold there, let the band do its thing, and then press through the floor to come out of that, all right? He can increase that resistance just by pushing into the band using his hands. All right? Push, pull, rip apart, pull to the side. Just good one way to just create more tension and increase the complexity of your squat. Using this band also, hey, if you ever want to, it's a great way to feel that triple with the jump. So give me some of those light jumps. It doesn't have to be crazy, but it teaches that, boom, that finish on a jump squat. Yep, see the control in the band he needs? All raw. Time, reps, you play with how you want to do it. Resistive squats, have fun. Love me some Superband power-off presses, all right? Anti-rotation for the core, proximal stability. You have a good anchor point right around chest, sternal level. Athletic position, this can be either tall or squatted. It's up to you, your choice on the footprint, but notice the control here, all right? I'm trying to keep this perpendicular angle to the body's rotation, and really I don't want his hands to drift towards the band. This is the anti-rotation that he's holding. Now he can compound this with some squats if you like. You can compound it with some reverse lunges, but no matter what, he maintains the control, that stability, that dynamic stability in his upper body, and that's what's challenging this core control, all right? Another thing you can do is even adding some chops in here teaches this upper body how to sort out stability and mobility, all right? Again, resisting any movement or inclination to going towards that anchor point. Great job, B. Superband bear crawls are a fantastic way to help people into their deep flexed positions, all right? This band is not only deloading them, all right, so they can actually get into this position, but it's also teaching them how to create tension right around this, right proximal stability. Now, I can do this crawl forward and back, And I can also do this crawl if you can turn just a little quarter turn beat towards this way. I can even do some lateral crawls. So as he crawls left to right. Notice that band's pulling at different angles and creating a different demand on his core. But what a great way to build strength for patterns like the squat, deadlift, and lunge. All right, guys, Superband rowing. All right, let's face it, it's about ground reaction force. Good strong feet, good athletic position, and then here's your row. Be sure to maintain control in your row. You don't want to be moving all over the place, all right? Now right now we've got a bilateral row, 2 arms pulling, but I can easily change this to a single arm. Just a single arm row, still maintaining the control, maintaining position. But what if I want to go 2 hands and 1 leg, all right? Wow. It's all sorts of changes on here. We're pulling directly into us, but what if we're pulling a little bit of a chop pull, B? Look at that, chop pull. Wow, little chop pull to the left, chop pull to the right. What if we do a little row and a reverse lunge? The point is, we can get creative with all sorts of different angles for pulling, rowing, single arm, double arm, with a twist. Be sure to have fun. Create some complexity based on what you want your client to do. You can always change the bands up, different anchor points, but no matter what, be safe and have fun. Great job, B. Here's a Superband rotational chop. Now, ideally, I come up from a little bit higher of an angle, so let's just do that here. And then he's going down into that chop, all right? And finish pushing through. Great job. And then another pull I like is just laying down on your back, B. Just lay down right on your back, head towards me, feet that way. And then he's just gonna do a pull down as if he's doing a pull up laying down on his back. Some people like doing pullovers. You can do chin ups here. The point is, this is a vertical pull of this band. All right, so teaching clients how to vertically pull or challenge an anterior part of the core in any of these movements. Superband presses, all right, are a great way to not only light up the core, but just teach the shoulder and the girdle exactly what's happening when pressing, all right? I've just got B in a normal athletic position right now, but he can easily stagger his stance if he wanted to. For someone that has trouble with some balance, they can really take it down to their knee. You can go to a half kneel and just work on the press. But the naked arm here helps give a little bit of that feedback to a client, especially when you're in single arm mode, right? You want them to feel even, and you want to control what's happening at the core. You don't want things to fall apart as he's going in and out, all right? Different angles, you can press slightly up, slowly. My boy's so strong, he just moves all of that. Or you can start to press down. Choosing the angles of your press, just like any sport, right? You don't pass the ball only in one plane. Sometimes you pass the ball this way. I'm going towards my hands over here, B. Yep. So notice he's still core engaged, but just learning how to push in different angles. What a great use for that Superband and an anchor point. Good job, B. Thank you so much. Superband X walks. Love lateral walks, period, just for the hip integration and that core engagement, turning on the booty. But now, pull the band up, reach across, and make an X right there, just like that. Now we've got shoulders, upper bodies locked in, with tension more throughout the body. This is a great way, and just going with those steps. Intentional steps, not fast. With every step, he feels more tension in those shoulders. Having to maintain that control without holding his breath or getting too tight in his neck is really the goal here. All right? You don't need anything too crazy heavy for these X-band walks. They're tiring. All right? Great job, buddy.
Perfect.
All right, Superband jump outs are great, all right, because we need a little bit of plyometric work. We want to get the body warmed up and ramped up and prepared for the speed of life here. So really just going out with a nice jump out, a good soft landing, and controlled walk back. Now, as a coach, I can hold this band, all right, but another good thing to do is just anchor it, all right? Anchor it will give it more of a controlled feel. Beautiful work. And choosing different spots to jump to is a great way to change the intensity and complexity of the workout. You can even jump over things, but yep, come, 2 more big jumps. Come on, big guy. That's what I like. Also, remember, he's jumping out to 2 legs. What if I had to jump out to 1? Could he even do it? Ooh, I don't know. Whoa! Kind of, but it was good. Let's see it on the right leg. Single leg jump action from 2 legs to 1 jump. Boom. Excellent work. Or maybe just 1 leg, stand on 1 leg. Already there's the resistance going into a 2-leg jump. Boom. All right. Band's great to teach the body how to pre-tense, preload, and all that power. Great job, B. Thank you so much. All right, so we got Superband assisted exercises now. We'll start with this one, the assisted pull-up. Notice Brett's gonna put that band around the knee, this tension, right? So it's gonna deload him as he does his pull-ups. Why we put it around the knee is in case he does need to just leave the exercise quickly, that band can just slip in front of him. You don't want that thing to go and hold him up to the bar. Great job. This is the assisted pull-up. Now, the Superband's also used to assist movements. Here we have an assisted push-up. All right? Now, I love this because he actually has to pull this band to the ground. So it's going to encourage a lot of that pelvic tuck and stay tall in your movement. Get even taller for me. Get those way over those fingertips. Yes! See how he has to actually pull his hips into that tall? Great way to read and react to this push-up and teach push-up a better way. Even if my people can do push-ups, I still have them do it this way sometimes just to have them pull on this band and pull it that way. Great job, B. Superband's great to assist exercises, and the one that needs assistance a lot sometimes for people is the squat. You know, if you have clients that squat and fall over when they squat, here's a great way to encourage them to keep their uprightness. Hold that position at the bottom. Here's where their body's going to learn how to control this. It's actually that band is creating resistance and is pulling them forward. So their muscles are learning how to control this posture. All right? Maintaining control in that lower position is huge when you're doing assisted. Don't come in and out of that. You want to teach this part. Great job. You feel that band resisting you down. You're feeling how to pull yourself into a squat. It's a great cue right there, pulling yourself into a squat. Great job, B. Now, Superbands are great for assisting movements. When movements get complicated because they're single leg, that's the best time to use these kind of bands. All right, guys? So notice B's got to display this control at the bottom. Do I have that single leg control? The more he goes through his time or his reps, he can really ease up the tension on the band. All right? So maybe he gets assisted on the way down. Once he feels like he has control, he doesn't use the band a lot. But I love the bands for these type of single leg, single arm exercises. Great job.